Hello, this is Group 6. Today we're going to present on the topic of advergaming.
My name is Catherine Lorenzana.
I'm Giovanna Becerra.
I'm Luisiana Baltodano.
And I am Nicole Del Mastro, and I will be presenting on behalf of our group. Advertising has found a way into the world of video games. It seems like suddenly the surreal game world is becoming much more real. Hello everyone, today we're going to explore the topic of advergaming. What it is, what type of advergaming exists. We're also going to go over what makes advergaming successful, what makes them fail, and how to avoid it later. According to consumer behavior, advergaming are online games that come together to target specific consumers by creating interactive advertisements. They're an immersive mix of advertising and entertainment. They have been around since at least the early 1980s. That's when Kool-Aid and Pepsi developed the Atari 2600 games, which featured their products, and they were also distributing the games as cartridges and promotions. But through the growth of technology and the internet, advergames have proliferated. These advertisements now can include commercial video games, games placed on a company website, and in-game advertising. Now, let's go over each one. First, games may be placed on a company website, or even a special gaming site owned or sponsored by the company. This is done with the intention of attracting visitors and enticing them to remain on the site longer. The longer a visit is on the site, the longer they are exposed to the company's message. The games may or may not be related to the product. And an example of this is Dairy Queen's Tycoon, where players run their own fast food franchise, and here are some pictures showing what the game looks like. Next, we have commercial video games, which are games developed with a specific purpose. They're usually sold to be played on computers or game consoles. An example of commercial video game is America's Army. It was sponsored by the United States Army, and the purpose of this game was to increase recruitment, and it was extremely successful. The third type is what we typically call product placement or in-game advertising, which is when products or an ad for the products are part of the actual game. For example, you can see Jeep products in the Call of Duty Black Ops games and in Tony Hawk's Underground 2 games, like in this picture, where you can see Tony Hawk jumping over a Jeep Wrangler, just like in the game. Now, the three types of advergaming I just mentioned are the three most common ways advergames are classified. But advergames can also be categorized depending on the type of ad used or even where the ads are placed. There are 5 ways ads can be used in advergaming. The first is incorporating signage within an existing game. Advertising is passive in this type, and products and ads are placed within the game scene. You might see billboards, ads, or buses, or even a drink machine with brands of soda. The second type involves integrating the product into the game itself. With this type of game, you will interact with the product or even something that represents it. The third type is ads during transitions, which is when ads for a product appear when the game loads or when you go to a new level. Then we have ads around the game screen, which is similar to transitional ads because in this type of game, the product and its message are not part of the game itself. The ad might be part of a scoreboard or part of the playing field on a sports game, or they may just even sit around on the screen. Then we have dynamic ads. And because of broadband internet access becoming more widespread, the practicality of dynamic advertising has increased. The internet allows the display of in-game advertisements in real time, and the content can be updated regularly. So, who's being reached through advergaming? Well, marketers used to target mainly teenagers, but what about the products that don't target that demographic? It's not simply teenagers anymore. Studies are showing that online game players are falling in line with the general population. In regards to the age group of players, you can see that 30.5% of the online games audiences are between the ages of 35 and 49. 16% are between the ages of 25 and 34, and 14.3% are between 12 and 17. Also, women are catching up with the video game craze. 41% of players at online game sites like GameSpot, Candy Stand, and Pogo are women. In regards to the ethnicity of today's gamers, around 8.9% of players at the top 10 gaming sites are African American, 4.2% are Asian, and 79.3% are white. It is also important for marketers to note that in regards to income, 35% of players to those sites earn $50,000 to $100,000 annually, and 16.2% earn more than $100,000. Now let's go over what makes advergaming a success. With advergaming, attention is captured in a much more significant manner. A person might play a game for several minutes or maybe even hours. This leads to a much better retention of the product or message. Games can also become popular through word of mouth, creating the viral marketing that all companies desire for their products. Also, a game might have the element of competition. In a tournament, for example, where the prize is a free product from the promoting company, or a coupon that might be used at a store. This ties the product directly to a sale. Advergaming has also been helpful in gathering market research information. By using prototypes on games, companies can get valuable feedback from potential customers about products not yet released. Advergaming has also succeeded in offering fun ways to train employees, educate the public, or even campaign for public office. For example, IBM and Nokia are using online games to test workers' knowledge of rules and regulations. Then we have the governor of Massachusetts, who has an online game that lets citizens have their turn at balancing the budget. Also, let's not forget that most games are free. And let's not forget that a lot of games are free. Other games offer the same benefits that we experience with television, at least prior to cable. When advertisers promote their product, players can often get to play for free. And it is thanks to the advertisers paying the bill that the proliferation of free online games exists. The use of advergames can be very beneficial for a company. But it is important to keep in mind some of the aspects that can make them a failure. With pop-up blockers, the effectiveness of pop-ups is also taking a hit, and people are becoming quicker at using the close window button. Also, developing the game can be very expensive. Large game developers may charge as much as $500,000 per game, while many small developers may charge from $10,000 to $100,000. The developing time can also be a factor. The time to make a game varies greatly based on the complexity and the customization level. A completely customized game might take from 12 to 8 months to develop, but a simpler advert game can be completed in a few months. It can be challenging to find the right balance between keeping focus on the product and creating an entertaining game. And many games are fun, but they fail to deliver the advertising message, and they don't result in an increase in sales. And let's be real, this is what we're trying to get. So there are certain measurements that can be taken to avoid these failures, which are conducting consumer research, taking advantage of the innovative technology, choosing the right type of game, keeping in mind the timeline and timeframe of developing games, budgeting appropriately, and having a team of game developers and a team of advertisers working together to balance the focus of the product and compelling factor of the game. Finally, choosing the right distribution channel. If all of the items in this checklist are taken into account, a company can achieve a successful and fun advert game that will result in an increase of sale of a product. I encourage you to keep an eye out for these games. They're everywhere. Thank you very much for your time today, and happy gaming!